Good afternoon. So it's pretty hot outside, so I decided I was going to work on my baskets today and stay in the air conditioning. I've been working on this little beauty and I'm close to the end, but I got tired of looking at the colors. So I have a friend who wants me to learn and make a video. Her name is Nancy. She wants me to make a video of the wing stitch or the candle in the window stitch. And to me, it looks like a popcorn stitch with a diamond on top. So I'm setting up, I'm just going to show you, I'm setting up to start a little practice basket. So from the videos I've looked at online, if you're making any type of a diamond stitch, you should have your holes very close together. So the way I'm going to make sure to do that is, these are about 1/4 of an inch apart. This is a little teeny center that I made. I have several of them in kits in my shop. And I'm going to wrap my first row. So you tie it down as normal. I always tape the tail to the back. I leave it there for a little bit so I can tighten it up. And I just go down twice in each hole just to really secure it. And I wrap the first row because that makes it pop. It makes the center pop. The colors, I think, are better and are highlighted a little better. And it gives you more to attach to. So since it was suggested in some of the videos that you keep your stitches really close together, I think I'm going to go 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to, when I get to the next row, I'll just double up on these and make stitches that are closer together. So I just wanted to show you how I'm starting it. Very simple, normal, what we would do on any other basket center, but I'm going to get a wrapped row first, and then we'll go into the next row. Thanks for watching. So I'm trying to work on the diamond stitch right now, and I'm just learning how to do it. So according to the videos I've seen and what I've read in my book, you set up for the diamond stitch by doing a regular stitch first of all. And they're saying it looks better on the side of a basket as opposed to the bottom, but I'm trying to learn, so I'm doing it on the bottom. So I did 1 full row of the regular stitch, and then it says to back stitch over, and that sets up the bottom of the diamond stitch. So I started back stitching here, and back stitching is, because I've never actually back stitched before, I've made 40 some baskets, but never back stitched. I know some of my friends close their last row of their basket with a back stitch, but I tend to wrap mine. It's just habit. Anyway, so this is the first time I'm actually doing a back stitch. So here's the regular stitch going this way. You just start going the other way. Wrap it over, go right in without poking your finger. It's tight, so I have to pull it through this way. And then go right, pull it down tight. Now see, it makes a little cross. So I've just been straightening up the crossovers at the top, because I think when I start doing the diamond stitch, we're going to be going through the crosses, and then it creates a diamond up here. So I'll do that again. So we're setting up for the diamond stitch, and this is just the back stitch. Going back over, and you kind of get the hang of it when you do it. I couldn't understand it quite perfectly when I was looking in the book, but once I started doing it, it kind of made sense. Then you get the little crossover. Now see how there's crossovers on the top there? So I'll do one more. Here's just my regular stitch. I'm on the front of my basket bottom. There's the back with the tape. Pull it over. Gives you the little cross. Over at the top. Pull it through. Oh, I lost my needle. I'm having a hard time at this angle, but there we go. Okay, so this is setting up to do the diamond stitch. So I can see how it will start working, because when we go back on the next row, we're going to go in here, and it's going to give us the diamond up this way. So I'll continue working all the way around and show you what it looks like then, but that's how the top of it'll look. You'll have a crossover everywhere as you keep flowing on down to get all the way around. I mean, even that kind of looks nice, but it's a different look. Okay, before I can use the candle in the window stitch, I need to learn this diamond stitch. So this is the bottom half of the diamond stitch. We're going to end up with a diamond here, a diamond here, a diamond there. So we'll keep moving forward and see how it turns out. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I've finished up the back stitch on this, and I'm setting up for the diamond stitch. So I wrapped the first row, then I did just the regular stitch all the way around, went backwards and did the back stitch. So when you do the back stitch, you just go from here over, 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 and that's where you form all these crosses. Now, from what I'm figuring out, the crosses are pretty important, because that's where we're going to attach going back around and create a diamond in each of these sections. So you set up for the diamond stitch by doing a regular stitch and then back stitching all the way to the beginning. So I'm back at the beginning. I've worked my thread up to where it needs to be to start going over and forming the diamond. So again, when you're starting your second row to form the diamond, from what I figured out, you're going to go ahead and go over and then go through the crossover right here. So this thread is really long because I just had to replace my thread. Okay, then you go back over just with a simple stitch and go through the next crossover. So see, it's underneath, but hopefully you could see that through the crossover. So now we're setting up the right side of the diamond stitch. So I'm going to go all the way around, and then I'll record when I start doing the next crossover. So probably what I'm assuming I'm going to do is, once you get all the way around and you get to the end, you're going to do a crossover again, come back into here, the left side of the stitch, and when you come down, there's going to be your diamond stitch. But we'll see. I'll go ahead and do the regular stitch all the way around, just like I did on this row right here, this first row, and then I'll show you when we start going backwards and creating the diamond stitch. Okay, thanks for watching. So I'm thinking this might be easier to see. I was trying to show you this way, to go under the cross, but as I'm going around the basket, I'm figuring out that it's easier to do it this way for me. And you can actually see it going through the cross, through the X. Right through there. This is a small basket center. It's from one of my beginner kits. And so the stitches are pretty small on the bottom, but as it goes along, it's going to spread out and it'll get bigger and bigger. So I'll just keep going around, doing a simple stitch going through the crossover. And then when we get to the end, I'll show you what we're going to do next, but we're going to form the top portion of the diamond stitch. So see, we've got the bottom portion of the diamond stitch all right here. It looks like a V, but it's not really a V stitch. So I already tried it that way and it didn't work. So we're going back to the right and we're setting up for the top half of the diamond stitch. Okay, so I'll just continue going all the way around back to my starting point, go through each of these crossovers and set up for one side of the diamond stitch. Okay, hope that makes sense. Okay, setting up for the diamond stitch, continuing here. So one row was wrapped. The second row here is setting up for the diamond stitch. I did a regular stitch, straight stitch. Then I backstitched, and when I backstitched, it created the crossover. Then I turned back around and went the normal way to the right. Well, it's normal for me, maybe not for you. And did a straight stitch. But in doing the straight stitch, or the regular stitch, I went under the crossover that was created by the backstitch. So now I'm ready to backstitch again and make another crossover. So now we are going to be forming the top part of this diamond here, if it works out right. So we cross over, go right through this stitch here. Oh, I can't get it through. Tight, tight. Look, I got my little pullers here. So there we go. There's the crossover at the top. So we'll have it for our next row. And there's a little diamond there. It's pretty tight. But can you see the diamond there? Okay, let's go over, make another crossover. And we're going to go over to here. Go straight through. I think my hands are a little sweaty because it's over 100 degrees here north of Seattle right now. There we go. Now there's the crossover on top. And there is the diamond on bottom. So here's the crossover. And here's the diamond. Now these are small because this is a small basket bottom. And you can straighten them out. But there's a diamond. So as we go further up, the diamonds are going to get bigger because the basket bottom is going to get bigger. And the thread will be a little further apart. So here, I'll go back over again. I'm just going to go right down through here where we went last time. Pull it through. I like to put the crosses at the top so they're all lined up. And there's a nice little diamond right there. So we've got 1, 2, 3 diamonds. I'm just going to keep going. Okay, so I just finished the whole second row of the diamond stitch. So there's a lot of stitches in here, but you can see I did the top row of the diamond stitch, and here's all the little diamonds right in here. Now when you do the second row of the diamond stitch to create the top part of the diamond, you're creating the bottom part of the next row of diamonds. So I've done the diamonds all the way around, continuing on, and I'm back to my starting point right here. So when you come out, you end up at the bottom here. You end up at the bottom of this second row, second from the top. So I just pushed my needle straight through, came back out where I need to be, and hid my thread. And I'm ready to go start creating the next regular stitch row. So you're going to do just like you did down here. Go back into the top of your X with a regular stitch. Up and over. Can you see me going through there? Go into the top of your X and create your regular stitch. Now you're going to go clear around. So you do the regular stitch, keep adding pine needles, start getting your coil thicker, because as you're creating your diamonds, they're going to get bigger and bigger because your coil's going to get a little bit bigger. And your stitches are a little further apart, so they're going to show up a little better. So I think I'm going to do the whole bottom of this basket in diamond stitch, and then try to go up the sides with the candle in the window stitch, or it's also called a wing stitch, I'm told. But I will continue in this fashion. I'll go ahead and keep going all the way around with the simple stitch, just the regular stitch, all the way back, all the way around, all the way back to my starting point right here. Then I'll backstitch it again and create the top half of the diamond stitch. I think I'm going to do about 6 rows. That should make it pretty even. That'll be a nice bottom. And then I'll try to figure out the candle in the window stitch for my friend and make a tape of it. But that's the diamond stitch. It's the first time I've done it. It's the first time that I've done a back stitch. I thought it was hard, but I've seen how a lot of my friends finish off their baskets with a back stitch like this, and it holds the pine needles in just fine. Like I said in a previous video, I usually finish mine off with a full wrap just because I like the look. But this basket isn't done. I don't think I need to decide whether I'm going to go further or just end it. That's in another story. So, okay, I'm going to keep going on this, and I'll post a video when I get the whole bottom done, and we'll go from there. So I have to say that people explaining it to me or watching videos, it was a little difficult. I couldn't get it across in my head. It wasn't sticking until I actually sat down and did it and started seeing the diamonds form. Then it made more sense. So I would suggest you get a small basket bottom, something little, and just start working with it. And the more you work with it, the more it'll make sense. Thanks for watching.